Weight of the Unseen by M. A. Walter. This is a collection of twisted tales from the Spectroverse that will be included in the Twisted Cables of Spectro Solutions. Thank you so much to the author for giving me permission to do this reading, and I hope you enjoy. The Weight of the Unseen, a musing on life or death by Cleo Hawthorne, philosopher. Introduction. In this peculiar age, where the veil between the natural and the supernatural has worn thin, one must ask, what does it mean to coexist with the spirits? Ours is a world where the incorporeal mingles with the material, and yet, rather than marvel at this union, we dismiss it with annoyance as one swats away a fly. But it is not only ghosts that haunt our reality. The re-emergence of creatures once confined to folklore. Vampires in the shadowed alleys of Prague, werewolves prowling the forests of the Americas, and goblins festering in the abandoned mines of Eastern Europe has added layers of complexity to our haunted world. I still recall the day in 1995 when I stood on Waterloo Bridge and watched a dragon, impossibly vast, soar over London, its shadow swallowing the Thames like a solar eclipse. The air buzzed with an electric terror, and yet, by the next morning, the event was reduced to a mere footnote in the tabloids. Have we grown so numb to the extraordinary that we cannot even fathom the significance of a dragon's flight? What other wonders have we let slip through the cracks of our indifference? In this numbness, we risk losing more than awe. We risk losing ourselves. But my concern lies with the ghost that lingers within us, the persistence of the human soul after death. So let us turn our focus to explore that. The spirits are no longer harbingers of dread, but nuisances. Their presence no longer evokes awe or terror, only mild irritation. And yet their existence poses profound questions about our place in this layered reality. What is the nature of fear when it becomes routine? How do we reconcile the intrusion of the spectral into the mundane? In centuries past, the spirit was a mystery, an enigma wrapped in the dark corners of religion and superstition. Ghosts were symbols of the unknown, bearers of existential dread, reminders of mortality. Now, they are nothing more than the flickering annoyance of a faulty light bulb. Have we, in taming our fears, also tamed our capacity for wonder? On the spectral economy. There is an irony in our modern dealings with the supernatural. Just as we commodify all things, so too have we commodified the ethereal. And yet this new economy of the unseen is built on an achievement so extraordinary it has reshaped our understanding of existence itself. Spectro Solutions were the first, and remain the only group to achieve what no one thought possible: to capture a ghost. Not dispel it, not banish it to some murky beyond, but capture it, contain it as though it were a tangible, physical entity. This single act redefined the boundary between life and death, proving that spirits could be more than echoes. They could be grasped, studied, and, quite possibly, controlled. Yet, instead of inspiring awe, it has only bred complacency. Spectro Solutions' success has allowed us to see ghosts as inconveniences to be managed, rather than a phenomena to be revered. What does this say about humanity? What was once sacred is now a service call. We are conquerors of the unknown. Or have we reduced it to a matter of logistics, fumbling in the dark for meaning? The ghosts are no longer questions, they are disruptors, and in our efforts to control them, we have erased the very sense of wonder that their presence should inspire. If Spectral Solutions' achievement has transformed spirits into manageable phenomena, it has also stripped them of their mystique. Yet the question remains, what exactly are we managing? Are these presences the people they once were? Or are they shadows left by their passing? To answer this, we must examine the nature of the spirits themselves. On the certainty of spirit. It was once the domain of faith to suggest that we endure beyond our mortal span. Now, the persistence of the soul is a matter of fact, as commonplace as the rising of the sun. The question, then, is not whether we linger after death, but what kind of existence that lingering entails. We have all seen them, the human-shaped spectres, yet their nature defies easy classification. Consider the spirit of Elizabeth Heisman, a seamstress from 1911 who lingers in her old home. Witnesses swear she remembers every detail of her life, vividly recounting stories of her past and engaging in conversations as though she still walks among the living. She laughs at shared jokes, weeps at old regrets, her emotions and responses unmistakably human. Elizabeth's presence suggests more than a mere shadow of her former self. She embodies the possibility that spirits retain their full individuality, their identities being preserved even beyond death. Now contrast this with the ghost of Eleanor Cooper, a barmaid tragically drowned in the Great Bear Flood of 1812, forever trapped in the Dominion Theatre. Her spectral form replays the same dreadful moment without deviation, her panicked cries echoing endlessly. There is no spark of recognition, no semblance of thought, only the ceaseless repetition of her final agony. Eleanor's existence reflects a different kind of spirit, an echo, a fragment of memory etched into the fabric of time, her identity reduced to a tragic imprint. These two spirits could not be more different, yet both compel us to ask the same question. If spirits can exist as both individuals and echoes, what determines their fate? Is it their will, the circumstances of their death, or forces that are beyond our understanding? Do spirits retain their identity and agency, or are they mere echoes, fragments of memory unmoored and lifeless? If the spirit is an echo, a residue of life, then what is the purpose of our existence? Are we merely recording devices, imprinting our joys and sorrows onto the fabric of the world, destined to play them back in endless loops? Or does the spirit retain something more? A spark of individuality, a soul that transcends time and space. On life as a continuum. We have long thought of life and death as opposites, a clear dichotomy that frames our understanding of existence. But the presence of spirits reveals a continuum. Life is no longer a linear journey with a definitive end. It is a spectrum where the boundaries between the living and the dead are porous and shifting. This raises unsettling questions. If death does not sever us from ourselves, is it truly the end? If a spirit retains its personality, its quirks, its loves and hates, is it still the same person? Or is it just a hollow shell animated by the residue of what once was? If life and death are no longer opposites, should we reevaluate our priorities as the living? Should we focus not on how we live, but on what we leave behind? A new philosophy of being. In light of these revelations, we must rethink our understanding of what it means to exist. Life is no longer defined by the beating of the heart or the firing of neurons. It is a continuity of presence, a persistence of self. But we must not forget this persistence is not guaranteed. Many spirits lack coherence, their personalities fragmented or lost. What, then, preserves the self after death? Memory? Emotion? Or something deeper? Some ineffable quality that we have yet to understand? Perhaps the ultimate answer lies not in the spirits themselves, but in how we, the living, perceive them. If a ghost feels like a person, acts like a person, remembers like a person, then in some sense they are that person, even if only an echo. And if this is true, then our lives too may be echoes of something else. Moments of emotion and thought imprinted on the universe, destined to ripple long after we are gone. Conclusion. The meaning of coexistence. We live in a haunted world, not only by spirits, but by the questions they force us to ask. To coexist with the spectral is to accept that life and death are not opposites, but companions, each side shaping and reflecting the other. The ghosts teach us that existence is not bound by the flesh, but by the impact we leave behind. We are all spirits in the making, leaving trails of emotion and memory that will endure. The challenge, then, is not to fear the ghost, but to understand it, to see in its presence a reflection of our own impermanence, and, perhaps, a glimmer of the next life. Let us then embrace this haunted world, not with dread, but with wonder, for in the presence of the unknown, we are offered not only the weight of the unseen, but the possibility of eternity.